Hi everyone, welcome back to Lucero's Makerspace. It's Miss Jessica here today, and if you didn't know it, today or not today, but today I'm wearing a unicorn outfit because Friday is actually National Unicorn Day, and so with that, I wanted to make these really cute unicorn um, little stuffed animal things or charms that you can put on your backpack. So we're gonna make these. They're a little different here. And we do have kits available here at Lucero. So just come on by or give us a call and we'll more than happily give you one. So let's dive in and see what's in the kit. Because I'm excited. So you'll see the fluff, some string, and of course the bodies, some circle things. And this is a fleece or you can use felt, a triangle shape for the horn, two white pieces for the ears, two pink ones for the inner ears, a sewing needle. So with the sewing needle and the fact that this is a beginner sewer project, I would say this is for 12 and up. Some yarn for the mane, some sticky glue dots, and I'll explain where those are going to be used, and a popsicle stick with some thread so it's easy to take off and use. So we're going to put everything back in here and we're going to dive in and make one. So you can easily make this at home. All you really need is the fleece and cut your pattern out. Or like this is just a scratch or a scrap piece of fleece that I have. Or you can of course use flannel, uh, of different colors, or felt of different colors. And this is the stiff stuff. You can use soft if you would like. And of course, different colors of yarn. Scissors, a pencil might be good. And just if you want to know, the thread that you're using is actually embroidering floss. And so in the store, this is what it looks like. All right. And if you didn't know, there is actually 6 strings or 6 pieces of thread into one scheme of embroidery floss, and we're going to actually half that in 2 so that our stitches are not as thick, but you can totally use the 6 if you want to. So let's move this out of our way. And first off, you might see the difference between these two are the horns, and so you can easily change that up however you like. But we're going to dive in, make the ears, and then the horn first. So with that, I do have my patterns I have. I just did some organic shapes. If you want to, go ahead and look it up some Pinterest and get some ideas. But I'm just going to grab these and your sticky dots and just peel one half off. It might be a little sticky, but that's the point of it. And I'm just going to stick that on there. And if you want, you can, of course, use hot glue or stitch this on, but sometimes you may not want that stitching pattern on there. So I'm just going to eyeball them how I like them. And there we go. And it doesn't always have to be like all down to the bottom because this is going to be where we stick it into the body. So our ears are done. So we're going to put these out. And then for our horn, I just cut out a triangle shape of the fleece. And if you want to use something more glittery or different color, that would be fun too. And all you're going to do is just fold it over just like this. And we're going to stitch right on there. So let me show you what do I need? But of course, well, you can't really sew with a needle just like this. You need to attach the thread, of course. So the one thing I love about these needles is the eye is very large. So you can grab all 6 strings if you want, or split them down the middle. And I'm just going to put this through. There we go. And I like to secure it by grabbing both ends, making sure it's all even because I'm like that. And sometimes it's just nice to kind of roll them together. And we're just going to do a quick circle around your finger, grab the tail, and go under if it cooperates, and pull it. And then I like to walk it down to the bottom, my little loop. So I get as much of the string as I can. So I'm going to do that again, walk it down, and do a double knot, just so that it's nice and secure. All right, so we have our thread, and I don't want to see this knot. So what I'm going to do is undo my fleece, and I'm just going to go right through. Watch out for your fingers because this is sharp. It's a tool, not a toy. I'm going to go straight through it. So now I'm going to fold this over and sandwich that in. So guess what? Now you don't see that knot. And I'm just going to go back and forth. And sometimes you have to wiggle it to get through. Make sure the thread is going where you want it to go. And sometimes it's okay to go slow and steady. You don't have to run a race or anything. And I included enough floss or thread so that in case you do make a mistake, you have plenty to work with. So just continue all the way up, and then you'll begin to see, if you flatten it, kind of see this crisscross going on. And this is going to be in the back if you want, or in the front of your little unicorn for the horn. My hands are slippery because I put lotion on earlier. Try not to do that. I promise you this is an easier one. Just don't put lotion on. Alright, so you get the gifs. So go all the way up until you get to this point. And then, let's say you got all the way to the back, to the end, and we're just going to backtrack just a little bit, go through that one last stitch that you did, and go through it, and go loop-a-roo through the hole, and you have a knot. And I like to go just one more time to secure it. And that's how you make a knot, and then you just cut it right there as close as you can. And there you go. So now we have our little guy here, and we're going to put that in the back. My little thing, I forgot that was supposed to go on the other side. But anyway, now we're going to fill this in with some fluff so it has some body. And a pencil actually comes in handy to poke it through, or the eraser part. Poke, poke. And you can stuff it as much as you want, but you kind of want to give it a nice give. And now I don't have enough string, so I'm going to grab some more. And once again, it's super easy. Just go through the eye. Make your little knot. And now now we're going to make the little pattern of like the twisting of the horn. So then that's nice and ready to go. So my tail is nice and long here because I want to show you where that's going to be. So I'm going to sneak it in here on the top. And you can grab a pencil and kind of shove that in there so then you don't see it. And then all I'm going to do is wrap around. Not even doing a stitch, just a wrap. And you can do this as tight as you want or as loose, like in between, however you want. And then I always go in the back, come in through the back and tie this off so it stays there. And that is how we're going to do the horn. Super easy. So now we have the horn, the two ears, and now we need the face part or the body. And I already started that over here. I didn't think about this, but it's white and you can't see this. But anyway, if you're wondering how in the world do I do my steps or my stitches evenly, if you want, the best thing to do is find a circle that's a little smaller and come in with your pencil and do a light tracing of that, or even just like the indentation of it, you know where to go. If you're really wanting to make sure it's nice and even. But that's the fun part about sewing, is just going with the flow. So I'm just doing exactly the same steps as I first started. I have my knot sandwiched in right there, and I'm just going around, in and out, in and out. And if you pull it too much, you can get that little ruffling, unless you want the ruffling. And some of the circles might have some ink from the circles. You can always just come in and slightly trim that or sandwich it in there so you don't see it. And just continue going around, in and out. And this is a really fun activity, like I said, for any ages 12 and up. With, I would say maybe down to 10 with adult supervision, just because it's a tool, not a toy, and we don't want anyone to get hurt. All right, so I'm going to leave an opening here because it's about 2 inches, because now we can't forget the ears. So I'm going to put my ears where I want them. And then, of course, my horn. And if you had a little glob of glue, you could stick that on in there so it doesn't like move around. And I just kind of get an idea of where I want it. And I like that. But now we need to fluff it up. And if you want to just do like that, you can do that here. But if you want to do the eyelashes, which I almost forgot, which is okay, we're just going to come in here and draw, since I know where these are going to be, lightly draw in the eyelashes. And you might want to do this before you start doing the white stitching. I forgot. My bad. But that's part of the fun, is learning as you go. Or learning from mistakes. I was just so excited I jumped ahead. Alright, so I did a simple knot just like I did earlier. And I'm just going to do a simple stitch. The thing is, you want to make sure you don't go all the way through your 2 layers. So with this, it might been, of course, easier to do this before I sewed it. but with this little pocket, we can get through there. All right, so I'm just going to do a simple back stitch and tracing that little line that I just had. So I'm just going back through and poke through right next to my previous stitch. I hope you guys are able to see that. You can always just look up back stitching. So I will go through, pop through, and using your thumb as a guideline also helps. I'm kind of making these big, so you may want to go a little detail, but like I said, you can easily go slow on this. So I'm going to stop right there. And you would do the same thing with the eyelashes. I'm just going to drop down and come back up. Of course, if you wanted to do a line, you could do that as well. I'll loop this around. I'm just going to loop around like that, so whenever I pull on it, it comes through like so. So you'll continue around like that and stuff it through with the fluff, of course. And then gently put your little guys in here. And it might help doing one at a time. I'm going to do one eye or one ear above the eye and just go through both layers of the head and your ear to get it sandwiched in there. And you can always come back and do that. And where's my little... And the same thing with the little horn. Just go through both layers and the horn. And use your muscles and pull. So you'll just do that all the way around. And then close up. Don't forget the other ear, of course. And then really fast, I want to show you guys how to do the hair, and then we'll be done. And you can always come by here and we'll help you if you have any other questions on how to make these or see what else is going on here at Lucero. Our doors are open, so come on by. Tales from the Stacks, we just started a new book called not Charlotte's Web, Stuart Little. So you can come and check that out. All right, so my friends, my hands are like really slippery now. All right, and you would just keep going. And of course, knotting this. And then let's do the hair. You can do this by hand or with your needle. You can make loops if you want. You can just stick it on there or go through your little stitches that you did and pull it through, and that is how you do your hair. So this kind of looks a little cuckoo right here, but this is a work in progress, and so this is the finished piece, my friends. And don't forget to come by and check out a kit that is all yours that you can take and make your own. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day, and we'll see you guys next week. Bye for now, and happy Unicorn Day on Friday.